Gotta get that.
The good thing is, I think it was so bad it didn't go in the water on that.
Hey, if you're living on a golf course, you have to expect that, right?
That's what I've talked about with a lot of people I golf with, because there's a fair share number of people that are not very kind that live on a golf course about balls being hit into their yard. And I completely agree. Why buy a house on a golf course if you're going to be like that? It's going to happen.
Welcome back to another episode of the Guuuz Show. We have a very special guest with us today. Straight off the golf course, straight off the airplane, straight to the golf course, straight to the podcast room. The one and only Mr. Michael Parkhurst. Parky, welcome in, dude.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure.
It's a fantastic to not only have you on the podcast, of course, but it is an honor to just have you back in the building, man. It's I know we're gonna get to the golf in a little bit, but to have you back in the building, what's it like when you come back to the training ground?
It's coming home. It feels like home a little bit. It was the second home for a few years, and I miss that. Part of my life. It was fun. It brings back some really, really good memories, and still a lot of people that were here when I was playing. The kitchen staff and now the coaching staff as well is back. Yeah. So a lot of good memories.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, to see the coaching staff, to see their, one, how they adore you, but also, as you mentioned, the kitchen staff and Manny and just the people that have been here since day one. Mm-hmm. I think, we were talking about it a little bit this morning, on the golf course, the success that we were able to have as a group and as a team and as a club early on. I think we're forever connected through that success, and the one common factor is the club itself, right? And so to be able to come back and have that connection, I think is pretty sweet.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's one of the best parts about going on a championship run is you're bonded together for forever. You always remember that. We could have had some tough times during that season. I don't even remember. We just won a lot of playoff games. We won the trophy, right? That's what everybody remembers. And so, yeah, for sure, we're all bonded through that. And it's not just the players; it's the staff. It's everybody.
Sure.
So it's really good to see everybody.
No, I love that. And as we mentioned, we just came in off the golf course. We just rolled out the red carpet for you.
You should.
We had a little bit of fun this morning. We got out onto the golf course. Had a couple hacks with the golf club. How'd it go? Don't lie.
It went great.
Don't lie.
It went great.
For who? It went great for who?
I was the best player in our group of two. And, I think I performed very well. I was very happy.
There were certainly a few laughs, a couple mishits, probably a few cuss words.
I was very thankful that I hit the roof of a house and not the window of said house.
After it hit the cart path, So it's, sometimes you can control it, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, the golf gods, they were with us out there
today. You leave it up to them to determine what. If you're living on a golf course, you have to expect that, right?
That's what I've talked about with a lot of people I golf with, because there's a fair share number of people that are not very kind that live on a golf course about balls being hit into their yard. And I completely agree. Why buy a house on a golf course if you're going to be like that? It's going to happen.
Surely they knew going into that, right? It's not just like, oh, there's a golf course now in my backyard. Like, you're buying a house on a course. You've got to expect that a little bit.
I'd assume the course came before the house. Maybe I'm wrong.
You would think so. You talked on... you just mentioned it. You've been playing a lot of golf, huh? What else you been up to? You've been playing a lot of golf.
Way more than I did playing soccer. Yeah, which was no golf.
Listen,
because of my bad shoulder.
Check into this piece that we're going to put out, because his swing is nice, straight as an arrow, more times than not. Definitely more times than me. I was impressed with your golf game, dude.
Thanks. It's fun. It's my getaway. It's my oasis, honestly.
How many times a week?
When the weather is good, so I'm living up in Ohio, so we've only got about 7 8 months of golf season. But from now and through September, I'll try and play once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks.
Hey, living that retired life, huh?
I'm
only recently retired, so that's I'm blaming that. My golf game.
You're keeping
on
yourself
that fact.
way too busy.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I need to keep myself busy. What else you been up to? Tell us what you've been up to. I know you've got a few things.
Yeah. So I've stayed in the game. Greg Garza, that is, and I've started a mentoring business where we help out younger athletes off the field, which has been amazing. Honestly, started it because of my work here. When I first retired before COVID hit, which was only a couple of months, I was hanging out around the academy a little bit and just seeing what everybody was going through and, the challenges and the pressures that these young players are in. So that was honestly why I started the mentoring business, and it's been really satisfying and really amazing to work with a lot of athletes. So that keeps me busy. And then I help out Rhode Island FC in the USL Championship, a brand new team 2 years ago. So we're just started our third season, home state of Rhode Island up there. So between those two things, keeps me busy enough, but not too busy where I can't go play some golf.
Once every 10 days. I mean, geez, definitely not too busy. How important is that to you to be able to give back to the game? I know you're a guy that's super thankful and appreciative of all the experiences that you had throughout your career, but being able to give back to the game, the academy, to young kids, being able to mentor them, and then even on the professional level and being able to stay connected with the USL team in Rhode Island. How has that part been?
Yeah, it's been fun. And I think you're right. It's part of it is to give back some of the knowledge that we've gained throughout our careers, right? You always want to try and pass on that knowledge so they're better than we were. But also part of it is to just give back because you're right, the game was good to me. My kids were born in Europe, got to experience that and have some really cool experiences, including playing in the Olympics with you and, traveling all over the world and meeting cool people and winning trophies and having fun. So, yeah, it was a great time, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so, I want to give back to the game that, was really good to me. And, I felt like we put in a lot of work to, help the league get to where it is and soccer where it is, right? We're not the only ones, but we're a small piece of it. And, just making sure this next group of kids that are growing up, they help bring the game to the next level. We're going to keep growing it.
Kids, this guy is understating his career. I mean, phenomenal career with the national team in Europe, Champions League, like I said, it's unbelievable. The Olympics, so make sure you understand how important Michael Parkhurst was to the game of soccer here in the United States, because he was the man, still is the man, just on a different level. Amazing, dude. Do you remember, we were talking about this before on one of our episodes, the opening ceremonies. We were talking about it with Dax.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk me through what you remember of those Olympics.
I remember the opening. First of all, we almost didn't go to the opening ceremonies, remember? Peter Novak, the coach, didn't want us to go because our first game was the next day.
Yep.
And he didn't want us on our feet all night. And we said, no, we have to go to the opening ceremonies. So we went. I don't know why Polo in the summer games had us outfitted in pants, a long sleeve button down, and a coat. And it was like about 95 degrees.
And the humidity was ridiculous.
All I know is by the time I got down into the lobby from my hotel room, down the elevator.
Didn't even go outside yet.
Soaked. I remember being on the bus and guys are just getting naked. They're taking off all their clothes so that they're not trying to sweat through their stuff by the time we even get over to the ceremonies.
Yeah.
And then I remember we had to walk forever just to even get to like the indoor place where we met the basketball team.
The holding place.
It
was like 2 mile walk.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
I just remember we were all drenched, completely drenched with sweat. And I can understand why Peter didn't want us to go. So thank goodness we won the first game of the group the next day.
Then it was all downhill after that,
To this day, is one of the toughest games as far as disappointment that I've ever been involved with. Was the tie that we were going to go through, right?
Yeah.
We were up 2-1. It was late in the game. purposeful red card or purposeful yellows, right? We're into the next round.
Yeah.
We have it. And a freaking free kick under the wall? Are you kidding me?
Blame the goalie.
Always do. But seriously, that was a crushing tie.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Good times.
You know, when you look back on your time, obviously you said the kids were born in Europe. You know, what was it about going over to Europe that, one, intrigued you, but then two, you know, we went at a time when it wasn't very common for Americans to go over there and be successful, right? And it was never going to be easy. It's still not easy. But we went at a time when Americans were coming back. What was it that within you said, hey, I need to not only try to continue to push and make it, but I'm determined to not go back until I've kind of satisfied, you know, all of the goals that I've set out for myself over here?
Yeah, I think it was just I wanted to push myself and try something new.
Yeah.
All right, I was with New England. We had good teams. I had good success. I was from the area. Could have signed another contract there, but I don't know if that would have just satisfied me as far as seeing what else was out there, what I could do. So that was just the goal. It was like, can I make it?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I wanted to try it. And, you know, I didn't go to like the biggest league. We went to Denmark and thought it would be a stepping stone. But, you know, like everything, you kind of underestimate things until you get in it. And the Danish league was a good league for me. It was a good level. And I had a great time living there. And I think that I was very fortunate that I went over and I was in Copenhagen. Not only that, but I had my wife come over, and then we had kids there. And so I think that one of the biggest challenges of going over to Europe is sometimes you go into a small town, a small city, in a country you don't know the language, or even if it's English, and it's just so different than the U.S. And it can be tough, right? Just going to training and going home, and what do you do all day? And there's nothing to do, and if things aren't going well, like that's a grind mentally. So I was fortunate that I had some good teammates. My wife was over there with me. Yeah, and we had kids, and so good support system. So yeah, it was well worth it. I'm so glad we took that risk and did it. And yeah, I got to play in Champions League, which is a unbelievable
no big
feather in
deal.
the cap.
Champions League, just drop that little nugget out there, you know. Talk to me about Champions League. What are you thinking the first time you hear that anthem played in the stadium? What's going through your mind in that moment?
Chills.
Yeah.
Chills just thinking, you know, we didn't have a lot of soccer growing up on TV, right?
That's what I try to tell people. I'm like, you'd maybe catch 5 minutes of a Champions League game as you rush home from school or whatever it was, but it wasn't until like the semifinal or quarterfinals that they were starting to show games on TV or whatever. But yeah, it wasn't like, oh, let me just put on this game or that game, and
it was a different time. It was different. But some of the only games we did watch were Champions League games. And so, you know, obviously the music just sticks with you. That's like what you correlate with. So yeah, hearing that is just like, wow, this is it. This is a dream. And then instantly it was like, I hope we don't get our butts kicked. We're a small Danish team.
Okay, time to get down to business here. Make sure we don't get played off the pitch.
Totally. But our first game was at Shakhtar Donetsk, and we played really well. We had a very good team, and we played really well. We lost the game 2-0 away, but we showed well, so that was good.
Love that. You mentioned, right, like going over to Denmark in that league, you underestimated a little bit. What do you say to whether it's kids that you're working with in your mentoring program with Greg, or just people that come up to you, or you know, whoever has questions, right? When they ask the question, oh, how do I get to this level, or I want to be at this level and I'm only here, or what do you tell them, right? Because I think that's fascinating that you were able to go over there, recognize that, hey, this level is really good. We're playing Champions League. This is a big club. We're in a big city. And yes, I wanted to use it as a stepping stone, but now I'm realizing, hey, I'm actually, this might be okay for me. How do you, one, recognize that moment, but then two, what do you tell people when they ask you that question of, oh, I want to play professional in the first team, but I'm only in college, or I'm in a high school and I want to go to D1, but I'm only being recruited by D2. You know, how do you, you know, pass that message along to these kids or aspiring professionals that want to play at the next level?
Yeah, it's a good question. And, you know, I think one of the biggest things is we have to have respect for different levels,
Yeah.
right? For everybody out there, it's a big respect thing where you don't understand sometimes what these athletes have gone through to get to where they are until all of a sudden you're in it. And it's tough to understand and to realize that until you're there, especially if you're not in that environment or around it. And so I tell kids, like, go watch games, right? Go to a local college soccer game, right? Go see it in person. Go to a professional game, right? See it in person because it's different. It's different than trying to see it on TV or judging a college game just by what you think it is, or even judging varsity soccer, right? Whatever it might be. It's easy to think, oh, I'm the best player on my team, so I could definitely play there. We don't know that yet, right? And so we need to make sure that we're ready for that step, right? And so understanding that it's one thing to take that step and to go, and then it's another thing to have success at that step, which is going to take more work than you've ever put in, right? Getting to that next step is one part, but the work rate has to be there to be, hey, this is going to be the toughest challenge that I've faced within soccer. I need to step it up, and what I've been doing isn't been good enough yet. I need to continue to get better. So that's a big one.
Yeah, for sure. I think, people are always asking me, they're like, oh, like, what's the secret recipe? What do I have to do? Or, how do I make it at the next level? And I was never, I've talked about this before. I was never this youth national team player or the best at this or the best at this age group. It's about hard work. There's no secret recipe, right? There's no, I'm just going to unlock this and all of a sudden everything's going to be great for me and everything's going to be fine. You've got to be willing to put the work in, man. Like, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that the other aspect is sometimes players underestimate two critical things. One, can you do the simple things very, very good over and over and over again?
Consistency.
Correct. There's a reason why professionals do passing drills every single day.
Yeah.
Yes, we know how to pass a soccer ball, right? But can you do it at a high level every single time?
Yeah.
So can you do that? And then number two, can you be a good teammate and a good human being?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of players not get to where they want to be because they weren't that, right? It wasn't the soccer holding them back.
How crazy is that? I mean, how crazy is that, right? That, like, they've got all the talent in the world. They've got the ability to perform magic out on the pitch. But personality, character, all these things that they get to choose who they are as an individual, that's what's holding them back. That's what's letting them down.
Totally.
Like the kids these days, I think they understand, they see the videos on Instagram, on social media of tricks and flicks and all the things, and these kids can all do it. Technically, they're all unbelievably so far ahead of where I was, but I think as a generation where we were at their age, but it's how are you as a teammate? How coachable are you? How are you able to relate training exercises into a game and essentially put that into a game model and be effective?
Totally. And it's one of the reasons why, I got called up to the national team a decent amount, right? Especially when I wasn't even a starter, right? It was because I think I was a good team guy, right? I was going to have a good level of training. I was going to push the guys in front of me, and I was going to be a good pro, but I was also going to be good for the locker room. Yeah. And so that's a big part of it, even at the highest of levels with the national team. It's completely underestimated by a lot of the youth players how important it is to be a good teammate and be coachable.
Sure. It's massive. You just mentioned it there, right? Like being in the national team and not understanding your role, but knowing, hey, maybe I'm not going to play today, but how do I make the guy in front of me better? How do I make the team better? And more importantly, how am I going to make sure that I'm not a distraction in a negative way going into a World Cup qualifier, going into, Azteca, going into wherever you're playing and you're representing your country at the highest level, knowing, hey, we're in this together. And being able to understand, hey, my role today is to be a supportive teammate. That's massive.
Totally. And I think knowing your role is different than accepting your role.
Yes.
Right. You can not be thrilled with your current role, but you can do that to the best of your ability right now while you try and change that role for the future. Right. The right back that was starting over me for the national team, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Right. It was the coaches that's picking him. So why am I going to be a jerk to him?
Right.
I don't want him to do poorly. I just want to earn it over him. So Yeah, a lot of players get that wrong as well, and that's tough. I get it. You want to compete. Everybody gets to the highest level because they're competitors,
Right.
and so you want to play and you want to compete. But understanding that role and doing it to the best of your ability can get you a long way. It can get you all the way to the friggin' national team.
For sure. Speaking of the national team, exciting summer ahead. How are we feeling?
I hope it's exciting.
It's going to be exciting one way or the other.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be exciting one way or the other.
That's very true. I'm excited.
How are we feeling?
Optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I think that we play really good teams in friendlies, and it's
What's your thought on that? Going into an exciting summer, right? The teams that we just played in the last window, as well as the teams coming up in terms of the preparation games, Senegal and Germany, 2 tough teams. Now, obviously, we didn't have to go through a qualification process. You see and hear the arguments of, we should be playing lesser, quality teams, if you will. And listen, at the highest level, there are no easy games.
Totally.
So you can say, well, this team's ranked 300. Well, it's not going to be an easy game, right? It may not be as difficult as Portugal or potentially Germany or Senegal, right? But there's no easy games. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on? Do you like the fact that we're playing these definitely top 20 teams that are preparing us for the tournament, or do you wish? Hey, I wish our guys had more confidence in terms of beating said team 3-0 going into the summer?
I personally would have switched it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand playing these tough games because it does show you a lot of character, who you are, right? Are we good enough? And you can sort out a lot of things.
Right.
And I understand playing Senegal because you haven't played an African team maybe, and they're unique sometimes in the way they play
Right.
and the challenges. I wouldn't play Germany personally. You just played some European teams. I would have played a team that is going to sit back and you're going to dominate the ball. And can you break them down?
Right.
Right? Because that's probably what Australia is going to be. Right? I don't think we're going to get a game like that before the World Cup.
Right.
So maybe Senegal? I don't know. I don't know how Senegal play. I'm not going to say that I do, but they're going to be way more athletic than Australia is going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's definitely something to Argentina plays a bunch of cakewalks. Is that the right way? I don't know.
Right.
I guess they don't have to prove anything. They know that they can beat anybody. But there is definitely something to be said. I get that you try and schedule a lesser opponent and you lose. Does that kill morale even worse
Right.
than losing to Germany?
Yeah.
But
You run the risk, right?
You
run
do.
the risk of all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the result doesn't go your way against a lesser quality opponent per se, and now all of a sudden it's the end of the world. And
But for me, I think it's more getting used to different styles of play
Yeah.
that you're going to see in the World Cup, right? Where you're going to be sitting back versus you're going to be dictating the game, and how do you break a set defense down versus how do you play on the counterattack? That's, for me, would be more important than actually who the opponent is. It's more the style of play and getting used to what different things you're going to see at a tournament like that.
Yeah, definitely. How excited are you as a fan to be one of the 3 host nations? I mean, do you remember '94?
Only a little bit.
Exactly, right?
Only
So
a
it's
little
like, and we're the same age. We both look the same, 21. A little bit older now, but it's you know the league was built off the back of '94. We understand that.
Yeah.
But as a fan of the game, as a fan of soccer in this country, trying to grow it, you talked on that, right? Like we were a small part of that growth in the league. How excited are you to be one of the host countries?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool that these opportunities are here in front of us
Yeah.
to see the games.
You're going to get to some games?
I'm going to get to a game for
Okay.
sure here in Atlanta.
Love it.
Goal is a knockout round game.
Okay.
But if you've got tickets to other games, you let me know.
You'll be the first person I call.
I bet I will be.
You going with the kids?
Yeah. Bring the whole family.
Yeah.
So got to experience it because I didn't get to a game in '94. So this will be not my first World Cup game because I did go to France in '98 actually with my team. So this will be the first one though in home soil. So I'm
sweet.
excited about it. And then I was already looking at Olympics tickets for a couple of years away from now, and then the Women's World Cup. So it's an exciting time, and this is going to kick us off.
Planning ahead, dude. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what retired life does for you. It gives you this free time to just not only plan for the week ahead and when you can play golf every 10 days, but for 2, 3, 4 years down the road.
I mean,
You've earned it. You've earned it.
that's how tickets are going these days. I'm like,
True.
golly, I got to get it 2 years in advance here.
And you hope that you get them at a decent cost, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, we know, obviously, coming back, we talked about, being in this building, in the training facility, seeing friendly faces. When you look at Atlanta United, when you first joined the club, right, going way back, what were those conversations like when, you were brought in? I remember there's a picture of you wearing the hard hat, right, down at the stadium, checking things out. Like, what was going through your mind before the club was Atlanta United?
Yeah, it's unknown.
Yeah.
Right. I was I 31, 32? I don't know, somewhere around there. But I wasn't young.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But I wasn't young, right? And I had been to MLS Cup 2 years previous with Columbus. We had a good team in Columbus. They were moving on from me, but at that point in your career, you either want to go make as much money as possible, which I wasn't going to go to Saudi Arabia. Nobody was asking me to do that. But number two, you want to go to a winning team.
Yeah.
Right? You want to finish your career trying to win trophies. And it was like going to a brand new team. That was the biggest risk. It was like, what is this going to be? But having the conversations with the club and realizing, okay, hey, these are the types of players that they're going after. This is what they want to do. They had already told me that they were talking to Jeff, and I knew Jeff, so we had conversations before we both signed, and so I think I realized, okay, they're going to do things the right way. The training ground obviously is amazing, so those things went into the decision process of do we want to be here, and they really wanted me, which is big as a player. You want to go where you're wanted.
Yeah, that certainly helps, right? And I don't think anybody, including Arthur, right, in terms of the vision and the support and obviously the early success that we experienced, could predict how massive Atlanta United was from the start.
Yep.
From the supporters, the fans, the turnout at Bobby Dodd, to then transitioning into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It's truly, truly unbelievable when I think back. And yeah, I do remember those early days driving up to Bobby. No, not driving up to Bobby. Driving up to the Atlanta Falcons.
Flowery Branch
To train because the training ground wasn't ready, right? And then we're in the training ground. We're playing games at Bobby Dodd, and the atmosphere at Bobby Dodd was amazing, right? I remember being nervous when Mercedes-Benz opened, thinking, oh my God, is the atmosphere going to be the same?
Correct. Is it going to carry over from Bobby Dodd?
Correct.
Absolutely. I was right there with you.
Correct. We were like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose it.
Yeah. It was almost like we've got this beautiful, massive new stadium, but can we stay over here because we know what's over here, and this is pretty unbelievable. This is sweet.
For sure. It was already the best in the league.
Yeah.
And of course, then we go into Mercedes-Benz and we just
smashed it.
We do smash a couple of opponents. I just remember we played about 8 games in 4 days.
Back to back. Well, because they had a little setback with the stadium in the opening, so they pushed it back, and then they said, right, we're gonna have to move some of our games, and we're gonna play Saturday, Wednesday. And we're like, okay, here we go. And then all of a sudden we're winning, we're scoring goals, and it's like, bring on the next game.
We didn't train for like 3 months.
I know, but it was great.
It was.
And as a player, right? Talk about that, right? Because if you've got these games coming thick and fast, and you're winning, you want them. You want them to just keep coming, right? Your body, you're not feeling fatigue. You're not feeling, my legs are heavy. It's, let's go. I want to go again.
And it's crazy what the body can do when you're mentally prepared for it and in it. Because I remember that stretch. I mean, I don't remember exactly how many games, but it was so much right away. And I was a little bit older,
Parky, stop saying that, all right?
But I remember thinking, like, golly, I need a rest here. Like, my body's going to break down. So I had a Wednesday game, one of the Wednesday games off. And we played again on the weekend.
Just a true pro. I'm going to take a Wednesday off,
I felt worse on that weekend game than I had throughout the whole stretch. I think I just kept going.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but you're right. Like what you're capable of and winning helps, right? You're less sore.
Yes.
You're in a good mood. Everybody's sleeping well and happy. So, yeah, winning always helps. And when you're spanking team 7-1, that's even better.
That definitely helps. Scoring goals is always a key component there. When you look back at 18 and think about obviously the run we had, championship, we're lifting MLS Cup. What do you remember most, and what brings a smile to your face?
I remember the first game of 2018.
Yeah.
Away to Houston.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that.
We are down 4-0 at halftime. 4-0 at halftime.
Didn't we have a red card as well? I think we had a red card, Leandro. I think Leandro was potentially sent off.
I'm not sure. I didn't start that game, so that's probably why we were down 4-0. But
just deflect that real quick.
Yeah,
I wasn't a part of that one.
I was not a part of that.
Yeah, just FYI.
I came in the game.
I saved the day.
Didn't make it any better, but I do remember that. So, obviously high expectations coming into the season.
Right.
We go out there and get spanked the first game of the season. So that was a little wake-up call. So I remember that. But I do remember us being consistent, right, where it was like we rarely, I don't know if we lost 2 games in a row. Maybe we did, but it wasn't often. I do remember the disappointment of how we finished the regular season, right? The Supporters' Shield was within our control.
Yeah, Toronto away.
Yeah, Toronto away. We fumble it. And the
Big
locker
time.
room afterwards was not a happy place.
No.
It wasn't a good place, and it was like, man, we're going into the playoffs feeling like this, after a historic season. So, yeah, it was a little rough. We didn't know, right? And then we get New York City, right, in the opening.
Yeah, I think so.
New York City was
Oh, no.
fresh,
I
right?
remember after that Toronto game, we came back to Atlanta, and we were sat in the locker room here at the training facility, at the training ground, and we had, players-only meeting, and we were just saying, guys, nobody cares that we're the best footballing team in the league. We need to make sure we roll up our sleeves and be ready to compete.
Yeah.
In that entire playoff stretch, I don't know if we connected more than 10 passes at any one sequence. It was very much right, we're gonna change our identity here, and I think that game in Toronto away, that was an eye opener of, hey, we need to make sure that this, we're ready for this battle. Otherwise, we're gonna be knocked out real quick.
Totally. Yeah, and I remember being really nervous going into that first game away to New York City because we don't play well in New York.
Yeah.
New York or New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right, both places. We did not do well,
Yeah.
right? And, you could easily go up to New York City and get beat 3-0.
Yeah.
Right, and then your playoffs are essentially over.
Right.
So I think when we went up there and we won 1-0 away, I thought, okay, we'll be all right this postseason. But I do remember, we had the Red Bulls next who had our number. And that home game against the Red Bulls, that atmosphere
Electric.
will stay with me forever. I know that the final was amazing. But I guess you expect that for the final.
Yeah.
But for the Red Bull game, and I knew this is the toughest game we'll play in the playoffs, right? The Red Bulls.
Yeah.
And it was. So that atmosphere was it might be the best I've ever played in.
Yeah.
So,
Massive shout.
Yeah, it was.
You've played in big atmospheres, so to say that, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but that's a huge shout.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, I'm sure the final was just as big, but maybe I just recognized it because it was, the first
Red
game.
Bulls. Yeah, it was. I think there's probably a lot of things that went into it, but I remember it was electric. It was electric, and
so loud.
we came out of there thinking, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, 3-1, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was what a run. Fun.
And then MLS Cup night. Talk to me. Going in because we get a bad rap. The celebrations, the trophy, going on tour to random places around the city. Don't think we were a part of those celebrations. But what was your favorite part about I remember the parade. I remember the parade, being on the bus, and I remember seeing people hanging out of windows, looking down on the bus, and I'm like, is this real life? Is this really happening? That was, for me, that was surreal.
And it was so cold.
Yeah.
I remember how cold it was, and there were so many people out there. Yeah, that was crazy. I had my kids on the bus with me. They were throwing those little mini soccer balls out to people. I was signing them. We were throwing them. So we had a really good time. And that was the night. it actually wasn't right after the game.
Yeah.
The night of the win, for me, was very lackluster.
Really?
We went to a place. First of all, the team was like split, right?
It was.
I'll back it up. We made no plans beforehand, right? Because it was like, hey, don't make any plans.
Correct.
Because we made plans in Columbus, and
We're focused on the game.
Yeah.
We're putting all of our
So,
attention.
I
We're
don't
not
ca-
getting ahead of ourselves.
so there was
Can't
no
put the cart
plans.
in
So
front of
we
the horse.
win, and now all of a sudden it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, there's a team party here, but then all these other guys are going over here. I'm like, hey, should we be together and do it? And so I went to this one place, and it was packed,
I think
jammed.
we were all there. I think we were all there, and you couldn't move. It was
You
shoulder
couldn't.
to
Sardines.
shoulder, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. So it was a very anticlimactic evening, actually, I thought. It wasn't a great celebration. Fast forward, we had the parade that night.
Yeah.
That was a great night. We really enjoyed ourselves that night.
No, for sure.
That was
man.
the night we took the trophy out.
So are you saying you were part of that trophy tour?
Early on in the evening.
Right.
The responsible one. I went to bed.
I went home at some point. The trophy
Correct.
carried on. TMZ might have reported me being there. I was definitely not there.
Same.
I was certainly at home. Parky, listen, man, you are adored and loved by Atlanta United fans. Obviously for your play on the field, but who you are as an individual. Any message you want to send to our fans and supporters? Here's your chance, dude.
Yeah, I mean, man, it was good years, and forever thankful for the opportunity that I had here because, I mean, when we started in MLS, I mean, you were playing in Chivas, I was
rest in
playing in
peace.
New England, right? We saw early days MLS,
Yeah.
and for us to finish here in Atlanta and experience that,
Yeah.
that's night and day. And to see that growth and what the possible is in this league, man, kudos to everybody who just shows up and parties and puts on that atmosphere. And I know that it's not quite the same right now, and it's a little bit tougher times, but sticking with the team through these periods so that those sunny days are ahead again, where we can party and celebrate another championship. It'll happen, and so. Yeah, just forever grateful. And I'll always be forever shocked and surprised that I get noticed outside, right? Because I just look like an average Joe, right? I'm not tall. I'm not big. I don't stick out in a crowd.
You look good for 21.
Yeah, of course I'm handsome, but I'm kidding. But people would recognize me, and everybody was so nice.
Yeah.
It can be.
And if they only knew the real you, they wouldn't be so nice to you. They wouldn't be so nice to you.
That's what we always used to say about our friend Darlington Nagby.
We should have zoomed in, D.
Oh, we should have zoomed in. We had a great corner of the locker room, which I'll always remember. It was Brad and Greg and me and D. Mixing Kevin every now and then over there. Everybody wanted to be in our corner.
They did.
Alec Kim was over there. We had a good corner locker room over there. It was so much fun.
The guys you just mentioned, right? You talked about it earlier of just being a good guy, working hard, being a good teammate. All those guys you just mentioned are really good people. Mm-hmm. Good people, good guys, and great. They make great teammates.
Yep.
And so to have that camaraderie, to have that banter in the locker room, I mean I think that's, you mentioned it, right? That's what you miss most. You miss that connection with your teammates. You don't miss the feeling sore. You don't miss the daily struggle of getting ready to go to training and the preparation that goes into it to be at your best every single day. It's the relationships, it's the camaraderie, the banter, the laughing, joking.
It is. The banter's the best part.
Yeah.
Just playing jokes and having a good time in the locker room. Chris McCann was the best. I mean, the amount of times this guy would put a liquid in my carry-on without me knowing it, and then I show up at the airport and I'm always getting stopped.
Hey, this is pre-charter days, all right?
Yeah,
this is pre-charter days.
Pre-charter days.
Flying, commercial, going through TSA. Sir, you can't take this water. But what?
Yeah, and I'd be looking around. Where's Chris? That son of a.
He's already through security, looking back, saying,
he's having a good laugh somewhere.
Unlucky. Well, listen, man. Listen, it was a fantastic morning being able to get on the golf course, to then jump straight into the podcast. I know we're missing Joe today. He always comes up with some very insightful questions, and so I'm gonna pass one on to you. In the history of your career, what's one thing you regret purchasing?
Regret purchasing.
What was one purchase you made and you thought, ooh, I shouldn't have done that?
Wow.
Whether it was super luxurious, was super expensive, not so expensive.
That's a really good question. Because
See, that's why we miss you, Joe.
people that know me will know that I'm always a saver. I don't spend money. I'm very diligent.
Diligent, cheap. You know
No,
what?
not cheap.
I kid.
There's probably times where
The amount of times I've seen you in the morning, we'd go down to the hotels and I'd see you down there with the New York Times or whatever said newspaper, reading the Financial Times. And I'm like, look at this guy, finishing a crossword in the ice bath or the sauna or the jacuzzi. I mean, just always had a newspaper in your hand.
I'm trying to think
guy.
of the expense. It would definitely be something where I went cheap, and
What
my wife
about
was
golf?
like, "Why? Well, golf.
Yeah.
Golf is an expense for sure.
Expensive sport.
It is, but it's for the mental health, Brad.
Hey.
After we
After we put this content out, my mental health needs a.
Should we go back to the course?
A rethink, because I tell you what, I left more frustrated than
we
before
should go
started.
finish the 18.
Exactly. I mean, the amount of balls we put into the water, and I say we, meaning me.
Just on hole number 1.
You get back to the PJ Superstore. Need another dozen balls, please. There we go.
With your mug on them.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Hey, that's a special episode.
That's good marketing.
That's
You're
great.
just leaving them out there on the golf course for other
Correct.
people to find.
Correct.
They tune in.
Just contributing to the golf population. Just helping them.
That's it.
You got anything? Nothing, no? No regrets.
Purchase? No, I don't. I don't
Love
think
that.
so.
Smart guy. Smart saver.
What's yours? You have one?
I did. I said we had a puppy for a day. Now we have a puppy now.
Yeah.
Who's been with us for 2 months, 3 months. But when we were in England, pre-kids, bought a puppy. Lasted a night. Next morning, this is not for us. We were in an apartment. It was a shambles. It was an impulse buy. Went back to where we got it. Said, keep the money. I don't want the money back. Just want you to rehome this puppy. Send it to a loving home. Puppy was not for us at that time. And then, luckily, down the road, kids. So
Wow. It's
Yeah.
a good thing you made that decision quick before you got attached.
Correct.
Yeah.
We had a previous guest say a car. Bought a very expensive car for his wife, and same. They weren't a luxury car type of couple. And she said, "What is this? I don't want it. Take it back." And he's like, "What?" But yeah,
I was never a car person until
same.
1 year I had the luxury of being sponsored by Mercedes-Benz here.
Big
with
shout out
Atlanta.
Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, amazing. And they put me in a car for a year. I became a car person a little bit. I didn't know the luxuriousness I was missing out on.
Hey,
With
and then all of a sudden,
massaged seats and everything.
And then
Like,
then
wow.
you're in it. You're like, "Ooh, so no going back."
Yeah,
There's no going back.
I did go back, but
You're a saver. You're a saver.
yeah,
Smart guy.
I went back to my.
Oh, Parky. Listen, we could sit here and talk for hours, tell stories. It's fantastic to catch up, man. Appreciate you jumping on the podcast with myself, and I know Joe's bummed you couldn't be here. But listen, when we have someone like Mr. Michael Parkhurst walk through the doors, we got to be able to get you on. And so always thankful for your time. You're a fantastic teammate, but an even better individual. So thanks, man.
Yeah, you got that 20 I gave you, huh?
Yeah.
Well done.
That's it.
Nah, thanks for having me. It's always good to catch up, good to banter, and good to be back
Absolutely.
in Atlanta.
Love it. Joe, it's always good to be able to catch up with Parky, man. Such a good guy, great teammate, leader. He's doing amazing work off the field, clearly doing amazing work on the golf course as well these days. Much more than myself. A little bit more on that in a bit. But yeah, just fantastic to have him on the podcast and share his story.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you guys played a 3-hole challenge that turned into a 7-hole challenge? Explain that.
I mean, it's apparently we're just that good, and we kept pushing on to the next hole, and we certainly couldn't stop there. So we had to have a few playoff holes. But you're gonna have to tune in next week. That content will drop on YouTube. So check it out. It's certainly a laugh. Be very gracious when critiquing my swing, please. There's room for improvement. We'll leave it at that.
What do you got going on with the swing? A little slice? A little, little everything?
A little everything. A little everything. I just not enough time to get out of the golf course to work on my swing.
My thought, I was with you at the golf. I love golf, and I'm terrible at it, just like you.
What do you mean? Matty, you can't put that out there.
Listen, here's what I would say. You, in everything you do, you try to kill the ball. And this is a good preview. I think if you slow this thing down 20%, you could be like a single-digit handicap, because it's a nice swing. And you're a big guy. You can crush the ball no matter what. And this is all preview. You guys can see for yourself next week. I think it's going to be an amazing episode. I've seen some of the edits, and I had tears rolling down my face. But yeah, you got to slow it down, Brad.
Well, I appreciate the feedback. I think I get out there and I get a little excited, a little nervous, and the old saying of grip it and rip it is certainly my approach. The problem is the ball just goes every other which way than.
Was that ever a thing with you in goalkeeping? Did you ever try to just punt it as far as you could, or goal kicks as hard as you could? And did a coach ever kind of say like, hey, we don't need you to kick it to the other 18, we're trying to get it to somebody? Because I think that would kind of, like, I'm trying to put it in goalkeeper terms for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think I ever had that problem. I don't think my goal kicks were ever overly long. And so I don't think that was ever an issue for me. It was more so, hey, come on, put some more power behind it and get it there.
How did the show balls play, by the way? The official BG show balls?
Yeah, I mean,
a couple were lost, it sounds like.
We donated a few. We donated a few to the course. So if you find them out there, you're welcome. You're going to need some scuba gear to go after one or two as well. But listen, only the best for the Guuuz and show.
Are you a guy that when you play, do you believe in like picking up balls? Like if you're in the woods and you just find one under the leaves, oh, here it is, guys. Here it is. And you just play that.
Say that again, Ravi. Say that again for the show, Ravi.
Yeah.
Don't just
say it on the real mic, not the producer mic.
Don't just say it into our ear. My goodness, just coming in from right field.
Look at him hiding.
I know. And unless there's photographic or video evidence of this, he said, guys, for those that obviously can't hear, he said in our ear, that is exactly what happened, that I was just claiming every other golf ball that was found in the rough and or leaves or the woods.
Yeah, it's like you got a hole in your pocket too. You're like, oh,
exactly.
Oh, there it is.
Listen, the problem is there are too many cameras. There are too many cameras out there.
Yeah.
My caddy wasn't great. My caddy, Matt, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
We've found balls. They just didn't have the Guuuz logo on them.
I don't claim that those are my balls, right? But I certainly may need that later on in the round.
You felt pressure at every level in football too. How do you compare that to the stadium pulse of playing golf in front of 4 cameras with you know what I mean? I get so nervous in the tee box.
It's up there.
Do you get it too?
Listen, the first tee, I certainly showed some nerves and went for a swim. It was the golf is this game that when you're out there, it only takes one shot to just bring you back in. Yeah. And then you can have 15 terrible shots and you're like, oh my goodness, what is happening? And then one good shot brings you back in. You're like, I'm back on course. I'm back on course and I'm able to fix this and I'm getting better. I'm improving, and it's only a matter of time before that handicap drops to single digits, as Matt was alluding to.
What's the best part of Parky's golf game, you think? Short game?
No, I would say off the tee box.
Seriously?
I mean, straight, long, right down the middle of the fairway.
Shoot, he's like a Henrik Stenson type, just all torque?
Like slow, controlled backswing. It was actually quite impressive. And I was like, all right, this is how it's meant to look. This is go from the tee box to the fairway, from the fairway to the green, putt in. Me, I'm tee box to the rough, to the water, to the sand, maybe the green.
Hey,
find the
Joe,
ball along the way.
The great thing was, Parky was coming from Ohio, I believe, and he didn't travel with clubs, so he used my clubs. No excuse for me anymore. I thought they might have been, some bad, some duds, some lemons, but he hits them very well. I might try to sell them to him.
Yeah, you did offer him to buy him at one point. He was hitting him that well. But I mean, listen, to all things considered, the day before he came in, he was on the course.
Playing.
He was playing.
I remember you on the phone in the production room.
Yes,
and he's on the green.
I called him, and he's like, "What? What do you want?" I'm playing around the golf, and I'm thinking, my goodness, like he's out there 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week.
What's the difference in the retirement life that he's got compared to you? What's the catch here? 4 kids?
No, listen, his retired life, some could argue he went the right way, right, with retirement. I think he has a little bit more downtime than I. That being said, I certainly enjoy us being together, us doing the podcast, having this opportunity here at Atlanta United. So I'm not going to complain too much. Just
Speaking
that my
guys,
golf game's just going to take a hit.
There's always time for that. We'll go back out. We got a redemption match coming soon. It's now time for the Brad Guzan mailbag delivered by the Home Depot. Always on time. We want to say thank you so much to all of you fans out there for getting in your questions each week. To Brad, thank you so much for submitting on email as well. First one for you, Bradley. If you had a theme song, what would it be? This is Rocky from Ackworth.
Oh, a theme song. Good question. I don't know. I was never a music guy, right? When you think about music, when you think about locker room music, I was never the guy on the aux. I was never the guy controlling what music, what playlist was going out there. But I think for me, something like bring 'em up. Let's go. I don't know. I need something that's going to give me energy. It's going to give me life. Something that I can sing along to in my head, of course. Nobody needs to hear these beautiful vocals. But yeah, something that's going to get me going. What would you go for?
I don't know, man. Something by I'm loving Bad Bunny right now. Okay. I'm in my Bad Bunny era. I feel like Último Baile, that could be pretty good.
Okay.
Just that last album, that Debí Tirar Más Fotos, was so crazy. So he's just got anything with like a little trumpet to it,
Yeah.
Just gets them going.
Some bangers.
Were you not on the Team Ox by choice? Like, were there always teammates that were just I get this guy?
No, I think it was a bit of both. I think it was, okay, listen, I don't want it, because you talk about pressure. I feel like that's
much.
That is a pressured situation. Yeah. And so I didn't want it. And then if I did, it was, what is this guy playing? So it was never my thing. I was just more than happy to listen, whether it was South American music, whether it was European music, whether it, different vibes, right? You had techno, you had dance, you had country, rock, all of it. So the only thing I am against is heavy metal, where they're just screaming into the microphone. I can't wrap my head around that. That gives me a headache. I'm like, no, that's not for me.
Control Room, you guys got any theme songs if you had one?
Well, thanks. There is nothing better than walking into the locker room and hearing the Latin music, because that means you just won the game. Yeah. So I'm with you there, Brad. Let them control it. A lot of pressure there, too. Bad Bunny is good. I don't know what they're always saying, but you guys have Joe, you've turned me onto that a little bit. But I'll give you an old one. How about a little Jukebox Hero by Foreigner? Like, good little start. Go listen to that after this pod. Go down a rabbit hole there. That might be the theme song for us there.
Fair enough.
There's another one here from a fellow Brad as well, from Swanee, Georgia. BG, question for you. Would you rather be the worst player on a championship team or the best player on a team that consistently loses?
Oh, worst player in a championship team.
Yeah, I was going to say, no question.
Yeah, no question. I mean, listen, I've said this before. You play the game to win, right? You play the game to win, and especially at this level, you certainly have some sort of competitive spirit in you to help you get to this stage. If you don't, it's going to be, I think, really difficult to make it to the highest level. And if you're the worst player on a championship team, there's room for growth individually, but collectively, you're seeing what winning looks like. You're seeing what success looks like up close and personal. And you then get to push yourself every single day to try and break into that team so that you're not the worst player. And then you can, not only feel part of it, but you feel like you've contributed to the group. But in the meantime, I would much rather be the worst player on the championship team.
Let's shift back to the music question here for a second. In footy, there's the tradition of karaoke, right?
Yeah.
I remember vividly my first season here, traveling. It was in Columbus, I think, away, and I had to stand on a chair, shoes off, and look across the room, and Brad Guuuz is staring at me in a hotel lobby room, conference room. Everybody in the control room, too, had to do that at some point. I know Ravi did. I was there with him for his as well. He was literally shaking, physically shaking. Crazy. Chris, have you had to do that yet, by the way? I know Matt has, right?
We got to pick a good song for Chris to do. We'll have to. Maybe
Chris, you haven't done this?
He still hasn't gone.
No. I stayed at my own place when we went to San Jose.
Oh my goodness!
He slipped the team dinner.
I will say we can go on a deep dive sometime, but this club was built on karaoke. I mean, we were scouting all the different clubs when we were not even Atlanta United yet, and there was a few of us in the building, and we went to Portland, and there was a dive karaoke bar, and our president at the time, Darren, made us all pick a song and go sing, and then he thought it was so great that the next Christmas party or holiday party, everyone had to do a karaoke who hadn't done that yet. And then it's just kind of gone down there where when you travel to your first road trip, you have to sing. So karaoke, a big part of the club here. So we got to find a good song for Chris. I didn't know he hadn't sang. That's a big one for me, knowing that I'm going to have to get him up on stage.
Maybe it's a live on podcast.
Right here on the table.
Exactly, Chris, how we
Who's
feeling?
editing this? I call power.
All of a sudden, this section's just out of the show.
Correct.
That was what I wanted to ask you. Did you sing when you came here? Or were they just like, Brad Guuuz is football. We're not asking this guy to sing.
Everybody sings. Everybody sings. I remember we were in preseason, and I sang. I think the summer I came, but then fast forward maybe a year or two later, we were down in Florida. And I'm gonna get there. And we were down in Florida, and everybody started going up and started to sing, right? And then we started calling out, random support staff members, and they were like, "I'm not doing it." Like, no, we're all doing this together. And they're like, "Well, if I'm gonna sing, then you have to sing." And I said, "No problem, I'll sing." And if I'm going to sing, then, Joseph's going to sing, and everybody's going to have to go up there and sing. Yeah. And lo and behold, every single person in that room went up there, sang a song. There were some extracurricular. There were two players that I don't even know what had happened. I think they had a disagreement at training earlier in the day. They were mad at each other.
What?
It was quite feisty. And, by the end of it, we're, team morale, team chemistry, we're trying to build something here. Again, this is year probably 18 or 19. And we're like, yeah, you guys need to sing together. So we made them sing together. Then we made them hug it out. And then the whole team ended up around them, and we're jumping up and celebrating. But my song of choice was... When I wake up, and I know I'm gonna be one who makes a mess to you. Mm-hmm. I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more
just to see.
Yeah,
come on now.
That was my go-to, and so I apologize for the vocals. That was my song. And we had every single person, coaching staff, support staff, all players, new and old, every single player. We were in that room for about 3.5 hours doing karaoke.
And you know it's coming too. Like I remember when I was with Ravi, we did it for, I think, what was it, Ravi? Was it Austin away, right? Yeah. And everybody, you get there for team dinner and you look around, there's a couple new faces here.
Yeah.
They're probably going to have to stand on a chair today and look over at Ravi, and Ravi's like, you think we're doing it today?
That's the worst part.
I think so, brother.
You have to
pretend you sit there eating.
You have to own it.
You just hear the clink of the forks.
You have to own it.
Yeah.
The more nervous you are, and the more Ravi just stated that his water glass absolute shaking. It's just like
another one that's great. A great story of that is, everyone loves our head of communications, Chris Winkler. He had been like 3 years missing the, kind of looking the other way. No one called on him. And then finally someone was like, he's never done it. And then kind of announced on December 16th, he will be singing. Emails went out. I think we made a fake press release, and he does not like the stage. And he got up and did shots. And that's great. But I don't know if you've ever looked at the rest of the lyrics of that song, and there's just all the bigwigs are, have come to the holiday party, and he had to sing the rest of the lyrics. It's one of my favorite moments in this club's history.
Oh, that's great.
I loved it so much.
You just try not to make eye contact at that point, just looking down.
You talk about, I don't want to call it initiation, right? But it's just it's almost a sign of welcoming a new member to the team and saying, hey, we're all in this together. We're all gonna get up there, announce who we are, all this stuff. I remember back in the day, man, kids these days, players these days, they've got it easy, right? All it is karaoke. Yeah. Back in the day, man, it was. You'd be up there, you'd be getting grilled by the senior players, questions about, hey, why did the coach pick you? Or, hey, you play this position and you've got player X, Y, and Z in front of you. Why are you better than them? Hey, what can the coach work on in terms of his ability to coach the team? I mean, questions as a young pro, you're like, I can't answer that. The coach is sitting right there. Yeah. Or that player that I'm, trying to play in front of is sat right there, and you're just sweating. It was brutal, man.
Did they do that to you?
They did. But times have changed now. Times have changed. All you have to do is get up there and sing a song. And for some, I've heard some really poor performances.
I've seen it that where in the NFL, my previous life, the rookies had to do what was called a rookie show. And they would be it'd be the undrafted guy, the guy that's just, you watch every day in training camp, he's just getting demolished by his coach. They're critiquing every single thing he does. And then on the rookie show, they're like, we're assigning you. You're going to do an impersonation of your coach.
I've seen those.
And he has to come up. I've seen guys cry, sweating, crying. They're like, no, I can't do that. He hates me so much, I can't go. And then they bring everyone in. It's like an auditorium. Yeah. And you go watch the rookie show, and this guy is trying to do an impersonation of his position coach. Classic.
It's a real tactic, though, to try and duck that. I remember trying to duck it once or twice. I was like, oh, thank goodness we got to go out to the city to shoot content tonight. I can't make it the team dinner. I'm not going. And you try, and then they started calling guys out. And I think it was Tiago Almada. He was in the very back of the room, and he just goes, Matecito. And I was like, get up there. And Yorgos Yakimakis was there. You guys are massive figures, even to us. You still are to this day. So, you stand up there, hit the first, I think I sang Tennessee Whiskey. Who picks that for a karaoke song, dog?
I like it.
Yeah?
But like I said, you just have to own it. Good or bad.
Well, I tried.
It's most likely going to be bad.
Notes were good. Yeah. They were like, oh, yo, he can sing. And then I go, cause he, Yakimakis like, get him up. Woo! And that's when the napkins start coming. That's when you're in trouble. And it's like, oh gosh, there's no rescue in this now. And everyone knows within the first two, lines of the lyrics. Oh yeah.
Whether it's going to be good or bad. And more times than not, it's going to be bad. And even if it's good, there's a chance everyone's going to call it bad. And still, the napkins are coming, and you're getting booed off the chair, off the stage. That's a tough go.
Was there anybody in your career, I think back to the videos I've seen of Roy Keane when he was at Manchester United. Was there anybody that was just dogging you every day out there?
No. No, I wouldn't say there was anyone specific in that sense. You had comedians on certain teams, right? And those guys, you're just like, oh gosh, it's gonna come. The questions are gonna come, the comments are gonna come. I'm in trouble here. And like I said, as a young pro, you could be as confident as you want to be in yourself. You get up there and you feel about this big, dude. And it's like, oh gosh, this is brutal. This is brutal.
In the Prem too, yeah, I can't imagine. Even just the coaching staff too, probably. Like, who did you have as some iconic coaching staff members when you were at Villa, for example? Anybody that you were like, this guy's larger than life?
No, but I mean, my first manager was Martin O'Neill. And towards the end, I had Roy Keane as assistant.
What?
Yeah.
You had Roy Keane as an assistant?
Yeah.
How do we not talk about this?
Yeah, it's.
That's
I mean,
insane.
this is maybe a story for another episode here.
Just another pod here.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic assistant manager. Wasn't long, but yeah, it certainly left an impact on myself and in the group. There were certainly players that didn't agree with him and his way of doing things. Voiced that to him, and I thought I was going to see a murder right there on the training pitch. That was one of the wildest stories. Again, for another day. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, just big managers. Gerard Houllier, who, rest in peace now, sadly has passed away, but I wasn't his cup of tea, but, manager of the French national team and Liverpool, obviously, when they first won Champions League. So, some big managers.
There's something about when you have people that give you a little bit of resistance at first, you end up loving them even more. It's like you learn to grow through your differences, a couple of butting of heads of disagreements of tactics or setup or something.
I think at this level, though, it's like you have an understanding that you are not going to please everybody, right? And that's okay. Mm-hmm. And the quicker you can understand that and almost respect that ideology of I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, I'm not going to make everyone happy, that it's probably going to work out better for you in the long run. And in that time, that difficult time of having that, I don't even want to say confrontation, but having that adversity, if you're able to overcome that and understand that, then I think that makes you a stronger individual, both as a player on and off the field.
Captain's answer. We're going to cut it right there. That has been Brad Guzan's Mailbag, delivered right on time always by the Home Depot.